Welcome to another edition of Visit Las Cruces Live, the real New Mexico podcast. We're going to take a look at all kinds of cool stuff here on our podcast, ideas on fun things to do, the scoop on local businesses, to check out tourism and travel insight, and a whole lot more. Our podcast is available on most podcast apps, or you can listen online at visitlascruces.com. We're going to continue now with another edition of our beer and wine trail collection, and we have another one of our great breweries that we have here in the Las Cruces area. That's the Picacho Peak Brewery. David Rodriguez is joining us. He's the manager. David, thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Now, you guys have two locations, right?
We had two locations. We had our Alamogordo location as well as the one here in Las Cruces. We have since come down to just Las Cruces to maintain our focus and bring ourselves back.
Well, you know, we are champions of beer drinking here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, so it doesn't surprise me one bit. Does not surprise me one bit. All right, tell everybody where you're located.
We're going to be at 3900 West Picacho Avenue, just about across the street from the pumpkin patch at that last gas station before you head out of town.
Right over there by, and then the event venue as well.
Yes,
right?
The Grapevine venue is part of the entire.
So you guys have that as well, the Grapevine.
Correct. So we kind of feed each other. The events now have a bar that has everything from spirits, wine, and beer. It's a big one. A lot of people don't realize we have the spirits and a rather tasty cocktail menu as well.
You know, I'm glad you're here today because we're going to talk about two of my favorite things that I enjoy talking about, and that's cerveza and green chili cheeseburgers.
We excel in both of those.
Yeah, I've had both of them at your establishment, and they are absolutely wonderful. All right, let's talk about some of the brews that you guys have. I know you have your year-round selections that you have on tap all the time, and then you have some yearly ones. Talk about some of the more popular beers that you guys serve there.
Some more popular, well, as far as the staples go, like you said, year-round, you're definitely going to want to try out that Twisted Windmill.
Twisted Windmill.
Yes, it's a Twisted Windmill double IPA. One of the things about Picacho, since our conception back in 2015, I've always felt we've done IPAs in a manner that people who are not IPA fans can definitely get down with them. They don't have that punch you in the face kind of IPA bite all the time. But they're
really hoppy.
I mean, here's the thing. When I started working there, I realized the IBU that people kind of rate this off is just a mathematical equation of we did this, that, and that.
Right.
And given that mathematical equation doesn't always directly correspond with what you're tasting.
Right.
And so we've had some real high ones at 103, 106 IBU that don't taste anywhere near 106, 100 IBU. But Twisted Windmill is very popular. The Cerveza, number 6, is that's a big hitter. And then we've got some new ones that just released. Wild West Wheat, which is currently pinch hitting for our staple Hefeweizen. The Wild West Wheat is also a Hefeweizen, but a new one that we did with one of our regulars who's been drinking with us since about 2015, 2016. And he came in and did a Hefeweizen with us, and that's a Wild West Wheat. Absolutely fantastic if you haven't tried it out yet. Red Dawn is another newer one that I'm expecting to see for years to come as Edwin, our brewer. That's one of his own personal creations. Another fantastic brew.
Did you name it after the movie?
I don't know what he chose to name it after, but when we rolled it out, I did put Wolverines next to it, and anytime the first day, anytime somebody ordered it, you'd hear me yell across the bar, Wolverines!
Let's go with that. That's a cool story.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Even if it's not true. It's named after the movie.
Most definitely it is.
Yeah, you look like you're about close to my age. You remember that back in the day of the original with Patrick Swayze. Great movie. Great. Absolutely
fantastic
wonderful movie. Now, you guys brew your beer on site, right?
That we do. You can hit the brewery with the rock from where we pour the beer.
Tell us what that process is and what that's like.
It's a lot of cleaning, I found out when I started doing that a long time ago. They offered me, and I said yes. And I learned it is a lot of cleaning, very extensive, but it's a lot of fun. If you, I would say it's not for everyone, but if you enjoy that kind of work where you start with something, or nothing rather, you put a bunch of hard work and sweat into something, and then you have a finished product that you can actually look at.
Yeah.
That's what I did enjoy about the brewing process. And I've always enjoyed work like that, building things, welding and whatnot. But the whole process is just very gratifying at the end when you kind of just take the first sip and you're like, that's a home run. And the beer's not even done yet. Right. Angry Bee was one of the last beers that I did. I haven't been in the brewery for a while. But that one is Xavier Mendoza, our original brewer, Jim Fulkerson, and myself all brewed that one together one day. And that was just one pissed off bee buzzing around all day. And when we tasted it, man, that was a home run. That was one of those beers. We're still brewing it today, 6 years later.
What's your most popular beer? You have to pick it. What are you running out of constantly?
Oh, man, that's probably going to be Cerveza. Well, we don't try not to run out of it constantly, sure. But Cerveza, most definitely, our original hef. Yeah. And Smooth and Stout has been a solid hitter since its conception as well.
Excellent. Now, when you guys are you guys sitting around a table deciding what's next? You know, what we're gonna, let's do this, let's do that. You know, are you coming up with ideas like that and writing them down? What's the process like?
That's more the brewer and Xavier themselves will talk about things like that. I get to catch the brewer and then put pressure on him and lean him about, hey, man, this kind of flavor would be really cool. This kind of flavor would be really cool. But since then, I just drink whatever they pour out now.
Sure. I'm exactly the same way. You want me to? Do you hire any taste testers?
You know what?
I've got 2 of them for you right now.
Yeah,
me and
come on.
Norm's ready.
We don't pay well.
That's all right.
We pay in beer, but you're always welcome to come in, and that's always been the beauty. Is a lot of people like to do flights, and we encourage it as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But we've never been shy to help somebody get fitted for the right pint. Right. So when people come in from out of town, and they can be somewhat bashful about asking, let me try that one. I want to try that. I want to try that. I want to try that. I'm like, dude, it's like Baskin Robbins. Right. I'm not here to judge you. Right. You need a little cup of something? Let me know, and we want to make sure you get suited with the right pint the first time. Yeah. And that is something that I think a lot of our visitors from out of town, being as close proximity to the highways and whatnot, we do get a lot of people from out of town.
That's great.
And so green chili cheeseburger is always one of the main things we offer. But those samples always make it nice for them to really get a feel for who we are as a brewery and as a bar.
Speaking of that green chili cheeseburger, let's switch gears real quick and talk a little bit about the food. Who's the chef out there?
Right now, Dom Mendoza is transitioning to take over our kitchen.
Great.
And he has absolutely just blown me away. I was like, don't take this the wrong way, Dom. I didn't know you had this in you. And he laughed just like you did now. And he took no offense, but he just really blew me away with these hidden talents of his. And it's been a lot of fun as we've, over the past year, trying to regrow ourselves into where we were before. We're trying to get back to where we were prior to lockdown and everything else. That hurt everybody.
Sure.
And since I moved back to Las Cruces, just seeing the brewery find its identity again and finding those things that we do just better than everyone else and focus on those.
Yeah. And another one of my favorite dishes, and you guys have one of the best ones in town, is the fish and chips.
Yes. Fresh beer battered fish and chips has always been a fan favorite. We have red chili ribs, the red chili rub ribs. I don't know if you've ever tried them.
No, I've had them. They're great.
They're on their way back. So we're bringing those out. Lots of steak specials on the weekends now. And we were just kind of expanding everything as we go.
How often do you change up the food menu?
So we have our core food menu. Yeah. We've changed that more in the last year than we had in the past because as we, again, finding what we do well. But then our specials will change on the regular. Yeah. We'll have different dishes rotating on the weekly. Just kind of giving people some variety to choose from.
And you're leaving that all up to the chef and the owner to come up with that, or you guys is it a team effort? How do you guys come up with that food menu?
Sometimes they'll come up and talk to myself or one of the other bartenders and say, "Hey, we got some of this. What are you thinking about this?" And so it was like the other day, I said, "Well, why don't we do some French dip sliders?"
Ooh.
And Yes, it was.
Yes.
It was just that. When I said, but when you finish, I need a sample. And when they put the plate in front of me, and I went, "Ooh, okay." They didn't last long, and they were delicious.
You guys also have a lot of live music out there as well.
Every Friday, generally, you will catch live music. We'll bring some out on Saturdays. We're doing a lot of comedy nights. We've had a lot of comedians come through. We're just really pushing forward with, again, the brewery that I remember and I know, we were the place to be because there was always something happening.
Right.
You're always going to catch some sort of show, comedian, beer tasting dinners, and those are the things that we're really working hard on bringing back and helping people remember that's who we are.
Now, those beer tasting meals, you're pairing it with food and different beers, and it's like a course thing. How does that go?
Yeah. So the last one we did, which was my favorite one because we did a French onion soup that just mind blowing.
Right.
But we would do a different meal. Every course, a 5-course meal, was made with a different beer.
Yeah.
And then we would take that course and pair it with a beer.
Oh, wow.
So we went from like Hefeweizen vinaigrettes.
Oh, wow.
To a porter French onion soup.
Wow.
It's a lot of fun, and really the sky's the limit. I love beer. I love eating.
Yeah, you can't tell by looking at me that I haven't had a beer or two in my life.
Yeah, if the camera only adds 10 pounds, I'm lucky here. But it's a lot of fun when you find someone, a chef who wants to participate and can be just as creative as we are, and just really let loose.
Are you guys coming up with any fun things, changing it up? Got any ideas out there that you guys are going to be putting into practice?
You know what? We have a few different things that we are going to do. I'm not going to release those quite yet until we know that they are in fruition. But I will tell you this, July 13th is our birthday party.
Oh, great. Happy birthday.
I don't know if you remember Summerfest that we had been doing yearly every summer. Well, this is going to be our first one back. And so that is going to be a really fun party for everyone. Live music, games. If you went to any other ones, we're going to do it, and we're going to come back in a big way.
You guys have those big lawn games out there right now, right?
Yes. So giant Jenga, things like that, bocce ball, ladder golf. You can always catch that out there, and we always have them available for everybody.
Now, what days you open in the hours?
That's going to be, we're open Tuesdays, Taco Tuesday, Thursday, open mic, and red chili rub ribs. Fridays, chef special, and Saturdays. And all those days will be from 4 to 9. Now, if we've got a nice crowd, no one says we won't stay open late for you.
Right.
But we don't want to tell you we're going to be open until 11 o'clock and not be there.
You guys have a website people can go
we
to?
do. You can just Google us, Picacho Peak Brewing Company, and you'll pull up our website. As we go through some of our menu changes, that will be updated as well.
Do people need to make reservations at all, or is it pretty open?
We have the largest beer garden in the state.
Yeah.
So we can find room. Yeah, we can find room for you.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to make reservations, then we're always up for it, and we'll take care of that for you.
Phone number out there?
Man, you got me on that one. I always check my own phone for that one. But and when you Google it and find our
there you go
3900 West Picacho, I'll get you there.
Yeah. The phone number is right there on the page. Call that number.
Yeah, that's the one.
David, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And Picacho Peak Brewery, a great place. Great place to go and hang out. Have fun with your friends. Go with the family. Have some good food. Have some good cocktails. Just have a good time.
Most definitely. If I may just add one more thing for all y'all. We are the most dog-friendly place that I know of as far as drinking beer with the largest beer garden in the state. Bring your pooch. Come out, enjoy some live music, have some fun.
Definitely. Now, David, we asked one final question of our guests before they leave us for the day, and we're going to ask you that same question. When you're talking to people that have never been to Las Cruces before or don't live here, have no idea what we're about, what is the one thing you tell them that you love the most about the Las Cruces area?
Food.
Food. Absolutely.
Food. You don't eat Mexican food south of El Paso.
Yep.
You don't get it like you do here.
Nope, you don't get it like you do here in Las Cruces.
No.
David, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
We appreciate you. And again, Picacho Peak Brewery on Picacho Avenue, all the way out there towards the highway. Go on out and have some fun.
Most def.
All right, that's going to do it for another edition of Visit Las Cruces Live, the real New Mexico. Again, you can listen for free on most podcast apps. or listen online at visitlascruces.com. I'm Ed Carnathan. We'll see you next time right here on Visit Las Cruces Live, the real New Mexico.